MadBlackMan here. Alright guys, buckle your seatbelt, sit back, relax, get you some popcorn. I'm going to talk a little shit today, give some life lessons. This is an overdue video. For years, people have been asking me to tell my story, elaborate on some things, why I got in trouble, all that kind of shit, man. So I'm going to try to, however long this video is, we're going to rock with it, right? Now anyway, this is my story for those who give a fuck. Now, let's start with this. You know, I have pretty much done everything there is to do outside of hurting a child or raping some woman. Everything else there is to do, I pretty much done it. I have been involved with a lot in my time. You know, I was involved with a lot of stupid shit, gang banging, pimping, motherfucking robbery, every fucking thing you can think of. I was involved with it in my time. Okay. Now, this is how I became conscious. Okay. In my time, in my youth of gang banging and doing all this shit, I was always a good listener and I was always mature than my peers for my age. You know what I'm saying? And that helped me. That maturity helped me to progress through the ranks and gain rank in the street and, you know, become respected in every aspect of life. And even at jobs and shit, I was always able to advance farther than other people. On YouTube, every fucking where. And as a result of that, I've always had a lot of haters and people been jealous of me and shit like that. But that's just what it is. I accept it. But while I was doing all that dumb shit in the street, I saw a lecture by Mr. Farrakhan, and he was talking to the Crips and Bloods, and the things that he was saying and the mistakes that we were making in gang banging made a lot of sense to me. I never heard anybody speak the way he spoke. It just made so much fucking sense that it always stuck with me. You know, I started to see things differently, and I slowly started to change and try to find a way out of that lifestyle, you know. But I didn't make a complete change right away. It took time, you know, because I still had a lot of loyalties in the street. But eventually, eventually I got there, okay? But I ended up in a situation to where I was hustling, doing my thing, and I had this jealous person around me. This person was a friend of my cousin, right? He was my cousin's best friend, so he used to always be around me and shit like that, you know. But he was always jealous of me. He hated the respect that I had, which is common, you know. Same thing with YouTube. But in the street, this dude hated the respect that I had. He hated the fact that I was, there was a lot of legends about me. Some of them true, but a lot of them was exaggerated. But that's what happens, you know what I'm saying? You know, so, I mean, it is what it is. This guy was so jealous of me, and, oh, I never seen that nigga do this. I never seen that before, you know? So he one day he tried me. He didn't believe fat meat was greasy. He tried me, and I popped his ass, all right? I shot him. And this same fool who tried me, he went to testify against me. He was in court at every fucking preliminary hearing, every fucking court appearance. He was there, pointing his fucking finger. That's the guy right there, you know? He supposed to be a street nigga though, right? So, luckily for me, I was able to beat that case, okay? However, I had two cases. I had a case of manufacturing and deliver THC. I used to grow marijuana, right? You know, I used to grow some nice little sativa plants, and I had some indica plants, and I was crossbreeding my own little strains and shit, and it was going pretty good for a while, you know. But basically, when I shot this boy, I didn't have time. When I went home, I didn't have time to get rid of all my paraphernalia of my grow operation. So when the police came, they discovered this shit, which is my fault. They discovered all that shit, and I ended up getting charged with manufacturing delivered THC. And now I went to jail. I sat in there for a while, long while, okay? I kept postponing my trial. I was not in a rush for a speedy trial because my whole objective was to go home, not to, oh, I gotta go to court. I gotta get it. No, I wanted to win in the end. You understand? So I waited, hoping that this fool wouldn't come to court, hoping that he would realize what he was doing, and it didn't work. He still came to court, but I was able to beat the case on self-defense, grounds of self-defense, okay? Because the court saw that he was a jealous, hating-ass nigga, and one thing led to another, and he got popped. So I still ended up getting charged, however, with the manufactured delivered THC. It was no way around that, all right? I took a plea deal on that. And what happened is I got probation and I got time served from the time that I was already had spent in jail. So then I got probation or whatever. So I had to do no more time, basically. Now, my time in jail, while I was there, I was working out, retraining my body, retraining my thought. I saw men in there who did not deserve to be in there. I saw a whole lot of people who did deserve to be there. But I saw something that, I saw I wasn't like these dudes. You understand? I had a lot more intelligence than a lot of people that were there. And even they was telling me, like, dude, why you here? Dude, you smart, you don't seem like you should be here, But I started researching and learning, reading a lot of books about Black history, psychology, religion, and I was like a sponge. I was just sucking up all this information, all this knowledge, And what happened is, and the reason why y'all gotta excuse me, man, it's cold as a motherfucker in this car. Cold as a bitch, all right? So I don't know if y'all see smoke coming out of my mouth, but it's cold in a motherfucker. So that's why my voice is a little shaky. But anyway, I learned a lot of things, okay? And I became a Muslim, all right, in jail. Very good brothers. I will always love them for what they taught me, because Islam woke me up to it taught me how to properly research something, how to dissect something, okay? I did not stay a Muslim, and I'll explain that later, okay? But basically, I got out of jail, and I had this urge to help my community, to do something for my brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Now that I have this knowledge, I have a responsibility to do something about it, and try to give back some of what I've taken from my community, okay? So that's what I did. I set up programs. I was willing to work with anybody who wanted to work. I didn't give a fuck about your religion, if you was a Christian or a Muslim. I didn't care if you was an Israelite. I didn't care if you was a Pan-Africanist. It didn't matter to me. I just wanted to work with people who wanted to help these babies out here. And I kept running into these roadblocks, man. Like, everybody was so hell-bent on beefing with each other. All these dudes is like I thought we all wanted to try to do something for the community. Everybody's beefing. I don't like him because he's a Christian. He sleep. That nigga sleep. And then the other dude, I don't like him because he with the Nation of Islam. He's not a real Muslim. He's not a Sunni like me. And then the other dude don't like him because he's an Israelite. And it's just nonsense shit, right? A lot of confusion. So I ended up basically, because I never stopped my research. I always, even to this day, I research. So later on, I figured Islam is not for me. Due to the things that I had discovered within Islam, I figured this is not for me. I'm done with all religion. You know what I'm saying? Nothing personal against Islam. I love what they done for me, what they did for me, But I said religion is not for me, So now that the religion was out the way, maybe now it'll be easier to work with the brothers and get something going for our community. And I linked up with a lot of people from the conscious community and met a lot of people who would be considered famous to some of you guys, famous lecturers and teachers, historical ones. I've met a lot of people, man, and I quickly found out, because see, I have a background of the streets. I've been around hustlers, pimps, hoes, pretty much a good portion of my life, you know. Most of my uncles were pimps, you understand? So I was raised with a different understanding than most people. I was raised with an understanding of women that most people don't have. So I never had the expectations of a woman that some men have, and which is why you haven't seen me go through a lot of the problems that a lot of brothers have went through, okay? Because I never had those expectations, because I was taught differently than some other brothers. So anyway, with that pimp background in my blood, okay, when I got in the conscious community, I started noticing a lot of similarities. I know a hustler, I know a con man, I know a pimp when I see one. You understand? I know, I was raised with it, so I know one when I see one. You can't hide that from me. And I noticed that the conscious community, it was the same thing as pimping and hoeing. Just look at it this way, okay? You get out there on 125th Street in Harlem, you see a bunch of dudes with a camera, and they're all out there in front of the camera or in front of a building or a lecture hall, and they're all trying to outdo each other. Who can talk the slickest? Who got the most knowledge? Who can win this little conversation, this little debate? And it's really the same as when I go to the Players Ball. You have somebody with a camera who's filming some type of documentary on pimps, and you have the pimps outside in front of the hall or the ballroom, and they all competing with each other who can spit the best game. And you got one nigga, yeah, baby, you know what I'm saying, this is such and such from Chi-Town, representing that Chicago, you know what I'm saying, Midwest life, you know what I'm saying, standing hard on the punk ass bitch, you know what I'm saying, that's how we do it, baby. And then another nigga jump in, yeah, you know what I'm saying, this such and such, representing that Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying, Pewaukee, you know what I'm saying, standing tall, you know what I'm saying, until even when the buildings in New York fall, pimping still gonna be standing tall, you know what I'm talking about, yeah, Milwaukee life, you know what I'm saying, standing on the bench, you know what I mean. And it's like all they doing is the same exact thing as the conscious community. So I noticed these similarities. I got suspicious. And one thing I found out was that a lot of brothers in the conscious community, now, please don't misunderstand me. There's a lot of good brothers there. And the information is worth listening to. The information is legit. All I'm talking about is, it's too many phonies. You understand? A lot of those brothers say things that hoes want to hear so that they can get inside the bitch mind. You understand? I understand pimping. You tell the bitch what you want to hear, get inside her mind, and, you know, you can control her. You can get this bitch to pay your rent, pay your cell phone bill, and shit like that, you know? And that's what these niggas was doing. And I saw that, and I said, you know, but at the same time, these niggas would bash real pimps and say that they abusing the sisters and they doing this and that. I'm like, dude, y'all doing the same shit, my nigga. Like, the girl is paying your rent and you don't give a fuck about her. Like why? Like, you got a bunch of women sitting and you calling it polygamy and shit like that. That's not real polygamy. In polygamy, the man takes care of his family. You know? Like, that's polygamy. Polygamy is not having a group of a flock of hoes taking care of you and you sitting back like the boss. Nigga, that's pimping. If that's what y'all think is cool, then nigga, I might as well be getting my motherfucking money. Sitting around being broke in the conscious community, you know, working a job for people I can't fucking stand, a job that's going nowhere, you know, and then you niggas is charging $25 to get into your lecture, $10 for your DVD and shit. Then I got paid to go out there, drive out there all that gas and shit. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? No, I'm not finna be a hoe. I understand pimping and hoeing. The rest of the people who didn't grow up like that, maybe they don't understand. But I understand what's happening. So basically what I did was, you know, it was other things too that I don't want to get in. Because I don't want to say certain things because I don't want to discourage any young person from researching conscious information, or if one of them brothers can inspire you, then I want that to happen. I want you to be inspired and I want you to learn. So I'm not going to say certain things. But that's the gist of my story as to why I stopped dealing with the conscious community. So I had a struggle going on within myself. I said, okay, the streets taught me how to make all this money, but now I'm conscious and I have a moral obligation not to do certain things. But how the fuck am I supposed to make money? You know, because I'm tired of working these jobs. You know what I mean? How the fuck am I supposed to make money? And nobody in the conscious community was really teaching us any of this shit. You know, they too busy arguing about what came first, the chicken or the egg. You know, are we Hebrews? Are we this? And just dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? But in real life situations, them niggas can't tell you nothing because they don't know. They're getting money from women. They're getting money from bitches. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I know for a fact that's what's happening. You know? So anyway, I'm struggling. I'm like, man, what the fuck? How am I going to make this money? What the fuck am I going to do? And me and my brother had a conversation, and we said, look, man, this is a wicked society we live in, okay? It ain't fair. The laws of the land are made for, not made for us, okay? We have to do what we have to do until we can get into a position to do what we want to do. You understand? And I struggled with that for a few years. I didn't want to do something, you know, but I put my morality to the side. The conscious morality. I put the conscious morality to the side and said, okay, let me do what I can do. How can I utilize my street smarts and my knowledge of the streets to make money in a legal way? How can I do this? All right. So I made a few moves here and there, and I utilized the pimping that was in my blood. So this is what I did. I got involved with the adult entertainment industry. Okay. After years, I feel like, matter of fact, let me explain something. I feel like I need to say this so you won't get the wrong idea. I spent a lot of years while I was conscious trying to re-educate, okay, a lot of sisters who were whores, who's out here living foul lives, you know what I'm saying? Just wicked ass shit they was doing. And I spent a lot of time I even tried to send one girl to school, you know what I mean? Tried to send her to school. I told her I was going to pay for her college and shit, you know, and not because I was fucking her. I wasn't even fucking the chick. You know, I just felt like she had so much potential. She could be something, you know what I mean? Now, this all sounds so stupid to me now. But at the time, I just loved my people so much that I felt like I had to help, you know? And I tried to do all this shit for these women, man, and they just wouldn't listen. They were done. So I had to understand, listen here. My lessons of the street kick back in, okay? You can't save everybody, you understand? Some of our people will die. Some of them are just sheep, they're gone. You know what I mean? They're too far gone, okay? So what I did was, I said, I'm going to use this ignorance to my benefit as to right now. I'm going to use this ignorance and I'm going to get paid, okay? So I talked to the bitch. I say, look here, you sucking and fucking. All right, you doing all this shit, okay? You let niggas record you and put you on X-Hamster, okay? You all on the internet sucking niggas' dicks and shit. You know what I'm saying? How much money did you make from that? I didn't make nothing. All right, how much money you got in your pocket now? Well, I don't got nothing right now, but okay, bitch, well, listen to me. This is what me and you're gonna do, okay? And the rest is history. And I made some good money, okay? I made some good money working with these whores, okay? And I had a plan. You know what I mean? I ain't rip them off. You know what I'm saying? I gave them a cut, so you can't say it's pimping. It's adult entertainment. I was more so a manager, if you will, right? And I worked with them, you know. I also had another business dealing with fragrance oils and shit like that. I would buy those fragrance oils from another country in a massive bulk level, and I would bottle them up into pounds and things like that, and then I would sell them to distributors like gas stations. You know, when you walk into the gas station, you see the Arab dude got little fragrance oils up there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was distributing to people like that. You know what I mean? So that's another business, and that's pretty good. And that's the business that my son actually runs for me now. Okay? So I did all of this shit, right? I spent some time away, saved up my money, okay? And now I'm in a position to where I don't have to do that adult entertainment shit no more. You see? Because now I have invested into properties. I've bought property. I'm now a landlord. You understand? I own shit now. You understand? It It was a vision, an idea, a dream that I had that I have fulfilled. So as of March of next year, I will no longer be involved with the adult entertainment industry. Okay? Because now I do real estate. You understand? Bought me a house in foreclosure, fixed it up, flipped it, bought me a few more, and now I'm a landlord. You understand? That's how you do it. That was my dream, and I was successful at doing it. You see? But while I was with the conscious community, no one was talking about that shit at the time. Nobody was talking about doing any of this stuff, man. Like, dude, I spent so much money, wasted so much time. You know? I know you hear the term, if I knew then what I know now type of shit. That's how it is, man. Dude, I used to have these, when I had an organization as well. I used to have my own conscious organization, okay? And we serviced the community, you know what I mean? And we were trying to be positive and do good. Like I said, man, I didn't give a fuck what religion you was, none of that shit, as long as you wanted to help our people. You know what I mean? So I would go into the projects. I had these food programs, these food drives and shit. And I would have lunch programs for the kids. In the wintertime, we would give out coats and gloves and stuff for the kids. All this money is coming from me. You understand? This money was coming from me, my pocket. Giving out hundreds of fucking coats and hats and pairs of gloves to the kids. You know what I mean? And doing stuff like that. Neighborhood cleanups, where we would go into the baddest neighborhoods in my city and get a bunch of brothers together, garbage bags, and we just cleaning up the community, picking up candy wrappers, going into people's backyards, cleaning up their yards, no charge. We were just trying to show the community that we was here and you had somebody that you can count on, you know what I mean? That shit wasn't appreciated, you know what I mean? For the most part, it wasn't. You know, a lot of the elders appreciated it, man, but I had to just do what I had to do, man. It's cold in a bitch in this car, man. I should have stayed in the house. But anyway, so I just want to give y'all a brief little history of me, man, and why I am the way I am, how I got to the point where I am now. And I am successful, and I did it my way. You understand? A lot of brothers I know right now who have conscious information, but they're struggling as to how to make this work for them in this society. What good is the information if you cannot make money, okay? If you cannot be independent and not have to work no fucking job, what good is all this information and shit that we're learning? You have to find a way to do that. And a lot of conscious people don't want to tell you this shit. They don't know themselves. All they know is how to argue and debate about religion, the chicken and the egg. You know, did we come from planet Xeon, or were we the first people of the earth, and shit that doesn't mean nothing in the big picture. And none of that is gonna tell you how to pay my fucking rent tomorrow. You know, the electric bill due is $400. You know what I mean? They're gonna cut your shit off. They're gonna cut your water off. What you gonna do? You understand? So we have to take our street smarts and things that we learn in the streets and find a way to translate those things over into a legal form. I also own stock in medical marijuana. You understand me? Because, you know, it's not a big thing yet, but if it ever becomes a big thing, I'm going to be paid. Just like when Facebook wasn't shit and them shares of Facebook was like $3 or $4 fucking $5 fucking dollars a share and shit, $10 a share, you know, and when Google wasn't shit, you know, you got to jump on shit early. You understand? You got to educate yourself on different avenues to make income. I'm terrified. One of my biggest fears is only having one source of income, which is why I'm always hustling. I'm always looking for this and that, the next hustle, the next move. You know, I'm terrified. You know, one income is not enough for me. One income is too close to being broke. I can't do it. You know what I mean? 2 incomes, you feel a little better. But 3, all right, now we rolling. You know what I'm saying? Now we rolling. And that's how I live my life. You know, so I hope I covered the conscious community stuff. Like I said, I love those brothers. It's a lot of good brothers over there, but it's far too many frauds over there. And I know pimping when I see pimping. You understand? How the fuck you gonna knock a pimp for getting money from a bitch, but that's what you do. You just do it in a different way, okay? And like it's the same shit, man. I've been over this a million times in my mind and in person. It's the same exact shit, okay? And that's what they doing. They hustling a lot of these black women out there right now, telling them what they want to hear, on some Captain Save-A-Ho type shit, so they can milk these sisters for their money and their pussy, okay? And that's what they was doing. But my message would be to the young guys out there and anybody else who wants this information is, listen, man, focus on you and your family, okay? Learn your history. Learn who you are, okay? Learn about, please study behavioral psychology. Please do that. That's one of my favorite subjects I used to study while I was locked up, okay? And they explained a lot of things. Behavioral psychology. Study that. Study your history, African history, study it, okay? And most definitely study the Willie Lynch letter. Don't let anybody talk that shit to you. Study that shit, you understand? Because so many white people I know study it. You know what I mean? I can tell you stories, but listen, I remember I was court-ordered to take this punk-ass class, cognitive thinking, whatever the fuck that shit is, and then I had to take this parenting class for no fucking reason, you know, but they just made me take a bunch of shit while I was on probation. You know how they do you. So I remember these white women were in the class trying to educate me on the Willie Lynch letter, and it was so hilarious to me that they were talking about the Willie Lynch letter, and they explaining what was wrong with the black community. And I was glad they knew about it, but so many of the black women, well, none of the black women in the class knew about this letter. You know, none of them knew about the letter. They were shocked at this. The letter explains everything that's wrong with us as a people. You understand? So, this is why, you know, I really hate beefing and coming on YouTube beefing with black people and shit. I really hate doing it because it's really a lot of buffoonery and coonery. Okay? But like I said, you know, you study the Willie Lynch letter, it will explain a lot of this shit. A lot of this shit is just jealousy too. It's just something I'm gonna have to deal with the rest of my life. You know, I've lost relationships with people who I had nothing but love for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, heartfelt, man. I swear to you, no lie. I had nothing but love for people, man. But I lost relationships with them because they'd be fucking jealous of me and shit, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck is up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a type of dude, I talk shit on the internet sometimes, but I'm not the type of dude who, like, rub shit in people's face and shit, or none of that, you know what I mean? Because even when I didn't have shit, really, niggas was jealous of me. You know what I mean? If me and my partners is kicking it, and I know my boy, I know he going through a little rough patch, he ain't got no money, I don't put him in a position to be embarrassed, because I know he ain't got no money. So what I do is, when I go pick my nigga up, I put 50 bucks in his hand. Like, hey, hold on to that, dog, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So now when we go kick it, you can buy your own fucking beer and won't nobody know you didn't have no fucking money in the first place. But that's the type of nigga I am, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of nigga I am, but motherfuckers is always hating on me. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It is what it is. I ain't gonna dwell on that shit. I mean, that's life. You know, niggas gonna hate. But I like to finish this video out by saying this. Life, to me, is about the pursuit of happiness. Okay? The pursuit of happiness and obtaining that happiness, you know. So many people are miserable in life, and they want to drag you down to be miserable with them. You understand? If they see you're happy, they see you happy with your family, you know, they see you making moves in life, you know, you making big moves. If they're not doing nothing in their life, and they're miserable, they're going to try to drag you down. This is why you have to surround yourself with people who are doing better than you or doing as good as you, you know? Because one of my close friends, shout out to my nigga Rob. I'm going to say his name on camera. That's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my nigga Rob. You know, he inspired me to get on my shit, okay? This brother, we was all kicking it. It's like we was just a bunch of young dudes getting money, you know what I'm saying, doing our thing, but we was wasting money just bullshitting around. You know what I'm saying? And Rob just out of nowhere just came out with a fucking mini mansion. Just bought him a mini mansion. I'm like, damn, nigga, what the fuck? How the fuck you get it? He was always stingy with his money. Never spending money. Always stingy, penny pinching, buying the little cheap beer, buying the cheap alcohol, while everybody else was Hennessy and Remy popping. He was always that dude buying the $3 bottle. You know what I'm saying? And we used to talk shit about him. Like, man, what you this nigga doing? And he flexed on everybody with that mansion. And when I seen that, I understood, okay, this is what this shit is about. Really getting it. Not looking like you getting it, but really getting it and owning some shit. You understand? And too many black people live life for other people. Live life for you. Be happy. You understand? Because you can never hide your state of being. Regardless of how much you front, how much you flash, how much, you can never hide your state of being. Someone will always know, especially a person like me who studies behavioral psychology. You cannot hide your state of being. If you're miserable, I'm gonna know. Okay? If you're constantly making videos and acting like an animal, acting like a savage, then I know you're miserable. I know that you're unhappy. I know that things are not going good for you right now. You understand? Just like when I'm unhappy about something, like boxing, for instance, when I'm talking shit, instantly you're going to know I'm pissed off at the state of boxing because I can't hold it. I get very emotional. I start cussing people out and fuck this motherfucker. Why he ain't fighting this dude and that dude? Because I'm unhappy with the state of boxing. You understand? So when dudes come on YouTube doing that shit to, black women, when niggas come on YouTube and they, man, these black bitches, man, these bitches, man, these punk ass bitches, you know why? They're unhappy. Somebody has done those brothers wrong. And they're unhappy. They're lonely. And it's just life, man. You cannot hide your state of being, your state of existence. So I hope this video made sense to y'all. I was trying to answer a bunch of questions in a short amount of time, and I didn't have nothing written down. I'm just sitting in the car talking shit. But yeah, man, everybody, my message to y'all will be, get your money, man. We're going into a new year, man. It's gonna be 2016, man. Get on your grind. Don't let nobody be negative around you. Any negativity, get that shit out of your life, man. I don't give a fuck how long you know people. They could be your best friend. If they negative and they're always talking down on your dreams and what you want to do, get rid of them out of your life. No matter how much it hurt, you gotta do it, man. Get rid of them out of your life. And try to focus to be around positive people. Be around people who are actually making moves. I got people that I talk to whenever I want to motivate myself, really. It's people that I can call, and they're always doing something. I call them like, hey, man, what you into? Oh, man, about to go pick up my rent check, man. Yeah, this guy was supposed to pay rent on time. He a little late today, man. I got to go get my check. And I said, that's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? Landlords handling business. You know what I'm saying? Talk to my other guy. What you finna do today, man? Oh, man, got this guy coming out here, man. He finna redo my roof, man. And okay, that's what's up, bro. Okay. Call my other guy. What you doing, man? Man, about to go check on this loan, man, from the bank, man. I'm trying to extend my business, man. I want to put another room in my sports bar, man. I want to make a little pool room. Okay, that's what's up, bro. Those are the people I fucks with. You understand? I fuck with people who making moves. Okay? All right, black people. I hope this helps and inspires people to get on their shit, man. MadBlackMan, I holla.